Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, hanging out inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. We're also here on Facebook Live with you, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. Hope you're having yourselves a great week to start things off in a fantastic October. It will get better. It is getting better. You got to believe and you got to stay positive, folks. Everything's going to be all right. So, MonPozPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Just had Nate Trout on the show. It's now time to talk to my guy, Mr. Dudz, Adam Dudzinski. He is a state champion, the first time West Genesee ever won a boys basketball state championship. He is a member of that team forever in history, as well as hopefully one more season with West Genny, a prep school season, and a 2022 jump into college basketball. And we're going to talk about so many different things here this morning. It is my absolute pleasure, my honor, my privilege to have Dudz back on the show. Mr. Dudzinski, how are we doing today, brother?
Good. What's up?
I'm doing well. How is life? You know, life in the world of you and so many students that don't have to go to school, you know, every single day must be nice. I mean, can this be retroactive? Can I go back in history and not have to go every day? I mean, it must be nice to be able to, you know, you got your summer, but now you have school, but you also in a way get to relax a little bit. What's that been like?
It's 50-50. You got a lot of pros and cons. You can't really do the things that you always wanted to have, wanted to do your senior year. But there's their advantages. Like, you get to sleep in a lot and just sprint and stuff like that, which you didn't really think about, but it's actually kind of nice.
So how have you navigated this? Bring me into it, you know, just what school has been like for you, you know, having on days and off days and whatnot, and just what, I mean, this is obviously a very unique experience that few people can speak to. This is a time in our history where things at schools look very different. So what can you tell me about your experience?
It's not really a struggle, but there's some things that you have to do to make sure you're not lost in a situation. Like, a lot of the teachers say that you need to stick to a schedule, and I try to do that. I try to not sleep in too late and get my assignments done in the morning, so I have the rest of the day just to do stuff that I want to do and things I have to do. But I think the remote days are kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah, so you have some days when you're learning at home, and you have some days where you're learning in the classroom. Have you gotten used to it? I know we're not too deep into it, but have you found that you've gotten used to the home and away, so to speak?
Yeah, I've gotten used to it. I think it's not completely abnormal. Like, if you did this if this happened a long time ago, it would be a lot different. I think with technology now and all that, it's easy to adapt more now.
Yeah, you know, and for you, I mean, what are the challenges, you know, when you are at home and whatnot? What have been your challenges of learning and, you know, staying focused and whatnot? What can you tell me about that?
Just knowing you're at home. Usually when you go to go to school, you're just in the environment and you're ready to learn and just partaking class and stuff. But when you're here, you've got a TV, you've got video games, just things that can distract you, and just stuff that could knock you off your path or whatever. And you just gotta try and stay away from that and just get your work done.
How do you stay away from it, Dudz? How do you prevent yourself from being distracted?
Honestly, just knowing that it's something you gotta do. You just gotta get your work done in order to do the things you want. Obviously, one assignment, not the end of the world, but you know, just trying to film it's the bigger picture. Honestly, thinking you gotta complete the class in order to graduate and everything like that.
Yeah, coming here from Adam Dudzinski this morning as we learn a unique way of going to school this year. Dudz, West Genesee, you got one more season there. The hopes that there will be a season. What do you know about basketball up to this point?
Nothing, not a lot, honestly. I know that it's going to be delayed, most likely, in that there may not be state championships this year. It just might be sectional.
So what do you think of that? I mean, you're already a state champion, so I mean, you're in a unique situation because there's other teams that maybe they could make a run for a state championship, maybe they have the opportunity for it, they feel like they have the team for it, and that's been taken away from them or could be taken away from them, which is awful. In your case, I mean, obviously you want to go after a state championship, but you've already won one. So is there a lightening of the blow, so to speak, of Corona in a way, in the sense of, do you feel that if you don't get to play, playoffs and, the state championship run and whatnot, and your team was to go there, is there some peace that you have in the fact that you've already won the state championship?
Obviously it's a good thing to know, like, having your backpack, that you already won one, and, like, what the experience is. Like, having, like, some teams that were, like, really close even last year, not getting the experience, like, not even getting to play, just, like, the experience of, like, the tournament atmosphere and all that really sucks. But knowing that you already had that, it puts you at ease, kind of knowing that you already had it. But honestly, like, for me, I would say that I just want to have a season. Like, not even, like, if we don't have state championships, it's fine to me. I just want to play basketball with, like, my friends and the people that we've always wanted to. We always want to have our senior season together, and that's really just what I was focused on coming into this year, just to have a good time with my friends.
And how strange has that been for you? I mean, you had to come home, obviously, like all students did in New York. You had to come home. You couldn't go up and down the halls with your friends. You weren't going into the classrooms. You weren't hanging out outside, sitting on a bench. You weren't hanging out on the court and whatnot. Like, you had to come home. You had to all be away from each other. When you finally got to walk through the doors of West Genesee High School again, what was that moment like for you, knowing that was taken away from you just a few months ago?
It was good to be back, honestly. Just seeing, like, the teachers that you didn't really see. Like, the teachers were a big part. Like, 'cause I really have good relationships with a lot of my teachers, and just saying, like what's up, how's everything been? Just knowing that you're gonna get your bond back together with everyone. This was, like, good to know. This after everything that happened, like, we didn't even know that we might even have a school year or everything like that. But just having, like, the opportunity to come back was great.
So you get to go back in there. What did you miss the least about school?
Probably just waking up so early. That's really the main thing. Because during everything, like quarantine and everything like that, I like sleeping in, like, not too late, but staying in just was just good. And then the first day back, you gotta be up at like 6:30. It's a little tough.
So that's the thing that you missed the least. What did you find that you missed the most about school?
I'd say just the interaction with people. Like, I have like a lot of good relationships with, like, teachers and my friends and everything, and just missing, like, the interaction that you had with people in the school was a big thing for me, because I always like just going to school just to have friends and just to talk about stuff with people.
So obviously, and that's something that I think a lot of people miss. That's understandable, missing the interaction. What did you miss that you didn't think you would? What was, like, the most surprising thing, Dudz, about school that you're like, yeah, no, I'm never going to miss this, and then you realize that you actually really did miss it?
I'd say probably like even though I said it's like one of the worst things, I'd say, like, waking up early to talk to people. Like, the first thing, like, usually, like, during, like, Corona, you just had yourself, like, just to talk, like, think about things. But, like, going to school, you got to, like, express yourself and express what's, like, already happened throughout the day. So, like, going to school early was bad, but, like, going to school to talk to people that early, it was a lot different, because usually you just had yourself to talk and just think about things, but now you had someone else.
So the getting up early you didn't miss, the interaction you did, but when you look back on it, getting up early and being able to have that interaction made you miss it more. So I get that. I could feel that. That coming from Adam Dudzinski here. Dudz, for you, you have reclassified. You're hoping that you'll have a season this season at West Genny, but you decided you're going to go to prep school in between West Genny and college. What led you to that decision?
Just losing everything due to the coronavirus and everything. Losing an AAU season this year was really, really, really big for me. And then I think another thing I missed out was the college recruitment process, because with the corona happening, a lot of athletes just from any sport honestly missed out on a lot of stuff. And I think if I were to do a post-grad year, that would most likely let me get at least some of the process back, so I didn't have to miss out on all of it. And then one more thing is, if we don't have a season here, which I really hope we do, if I don't have a season, I'll still have a senior season to play regular season basketball for my school.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously for you, and we were talking about with Nate Trout, him coaching girls soccer, and the not knowing. For you, Dudz, what does it do to? I mean, knowing that Corona had changed things so quickly. I mean, you're at West Genesee right now, and you're hoping to have a season, and then if a school comes along between now and in a few months, and you're planning on going to prep school, but there's still uncertainty, do you leapfrog a prep school and go straight to college basketball? I mean, if things are to change again, shake things up again, or if just, the aftermath of Corona, things look differently, can it affect what you do and how you do it from here?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's the right school and the right fit for me, I'm obviously going to take it. But recently there hasn't been that much of talk with anyone, so that was really just one of our plans. But honestly, if the right school comes, then I definitely just do the leapfrog thing, like you said. I just go straight there, because the whole point of it is to get to a good college that I want to go to and just have a good experience there.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously with you wanting that, if something was to come up, but I'm sure that it's taught you that, you got to take the opportunities when you get them, and you never know how quickly something could go away. So I would imagine, as I was talking, like I said, with Nate Trout a little bit earlier here about, that from your perspective, he was talking about it having been an athlete in college. For you, looking to be an athlete in college, sometime very soon here, God willing. For you, I would imagine that, seeing the world the way that you've seen it, that you have to ad-lib and you have to take the opportunities. And I said, the thing that's tough is regret. If you were to leave high school early, or if you didn't go to the prep, or if you felt you missed out on something, there's certain things that you could feel like you miss out on, but at the same time you plan for your future. I would imagine that, you're a young kid, Dudz, but you have to have these big, you're a kid, but you have to have these adult decisions, and you have to, be focused and have the knowledge and the wisdom of realizing the fact that, you may have to make a future decision sooner than maybe you'd want to, just to secure something, because college doesn't know when they're going to play, high school doesn't know when they're going to play, prep school doesn't know when they're going to play. So ultimately, in the grand scheme of all of this, you sometimes have to you might have to make a decision that you wouldn't have made if this wasn't coronavirus time.
Yeah. If it wasn't for coronavirus, I think I'd already be committed to a college and ready to sign and everything like that. Like how previous people who went to Jenny, who took the same path to go to Division I sports, I think I would have been doing the same thing as them right now. But just due to everything that happened, I think that's the only thing that really put me off the path.
So speaking here with Adam Dudzinski, state champion at West Genesee, has another season there, God willing, and then 2022 is when he is currently going to be heading off into college basketball. For the people that don't know, Dudz, let everybody know the offers that you have so far, and if you could, not only state the schools that offer you, but maybe share a little bit of information on your interest level with those schools, and maybe your relationship with those schools.
So the two offers I have is from Siena and Manhattan. Those are both class of 2021 offers. And then schools I'm talking to right now would be Colgate, Niagara, George Mason, Bryant, UMass, Stony Brook, Marist, Bucknell, and Elon, I would say. And then most of those schools would like me as a 2022 recruit. So they're really talking to me as a junior, like hypothetically. And a lot of the schools that are talking to me, they try to keep in much contact as they can, and they just like to keep in touch because I really haven't really hit the 2022 mark yet. So they're just trying to keep in touch with me and make sure I'm good. I'm good with them and have a good relationship for now.
So when you mention these schools, the Colgates, Niagara, George Mason, Bryant, Stony Brook, Marist, Elon, that those have been in contact with you as a 2022. What have they said? What's that atmosphere like? Because you could be a 2021, you could be a 2022. It looks like you're going to be a 2022. If everything goes well here with West Genesee and you go on to prep school and whatnot. So what has the relationship been like with these schools as far as their interest in you and you getting a sense for kind of what they think?
All of the schools that I've talked to have said that a prep year for me would be really, really good. So that obviously weighs in knowing that these schools want me to actually take that extra year. They like the idea a lot, and then like they talk to me as like I'm already doing that, like already taking my year. And I kind of like that because knowing, like, if I do take the year, we'll already have a good start on the relationship and, like, in the process and everything.
So, for you, like you said, Siena and Manhattan have offered you as a 2021. What happens with those offers? Are they exploding offers? Can they go to 2022? Have you talked with them about the fact that you might have a prep school year? What can you say about those that have offered you, and would things change if you were to take that prep school year?
So they don't really like expire. They kind of just like translate to the class of 2022. So I keep them. So they just re-offer me basically as a 2022.
So they're going to stay interested in you. You have a feeling that the offer would still stand from 2021 to 2022 when it comes to Siena and Manhattan.
Yep, that's how it's gonna work.
So what can you tell me about Siena and Manhattan up to this point?
So I really just because of Corona, I really haven't gotten to do anything with Manhattan really, like in person wise. I've had phone calls and everything like that. But Siena is really the only school that I got to like do actual like college project stuff with. Like I got to visit, I got to go to a game, I got to go to a practice, talk to like the people and the coaching staff and even the players in person. So the relationship with them was really good.
So, like you said, you haven't been able to do a lot with, as far as Corona and whatnot. But has Siena and Manhattan, have they shown you anything that makes you really believe, like, these are viable places? Maybe this is a place you could go to. Do you get a sense from either one of them that potentially they could be home?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of places could be home for me. Like knowing like just you get a vibe that like that's a good spot for you after like talking to some people and talking to other people who know stuff about the campus and about the college and everything. So like there hasn't been a lot of schools where I'm like, okay, maybe I wouldn't want to go there. It's not really a good spot for me. But with the two offers I have, from everything that I know and everything that I've heard of that, it would be like both places would be a good spot for me. And I think like a lot of the places that I could potentially go would be a good spot for me because I just think like my ability to like adapt to like places and everything is really like beneficial for me because I know like I could like survive in like multiple places. So like having that and knowing like having people in my corner that are gonna tell me stuff straight up and just like not sugarcoat anything for me also really helps. So like I think just like wherever I go, I know that's gonna be a really good place for me.
That coming here this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios with Adam Dudzinski, West Genesee basketball player and a 2022 college basketball recruit. Dudz, for you, like you said, you feel like people are being honest with you. No yes men. People are kind of telling you what's going on. You appreciate that. You feel like a lot of different places can be home. There's over 300 Division I men's basketball schools. knowing that that is the case and knowing that plenty of them have gotten in touch with you, a couple of them have offered so far, how difficult of a decision does this become, knowing that, you keep being Dudz, which I firmly believe you will. You play at West Genesee, you get some more offers. Maybe you get some offers between now and then, you put some film together, you send some stuff out, maybe you catch another eye, you get some offers within the next couple months, then you get some offers at the West Genesee season, then you get some more offers during prep school, then it blows up, let's say, and there's a ton from there. Knowing that there's over 300 schools that are Division I men's basketball, what does that do for you in trying to make a decision, knowing that, yeah, some of these are local, some of these are far away, but there's plenty of them to choose from?
It's just, honestly, I think it's a good thing to know. Like knowing that there's somewhere out there that's gonna want you, and like somewhere that's gonna be a good fit for you. You just gotta find the right spot. And like, honest with the West Genesee year, we have it, and then the AAU season that I do become in 2022, and then the prep school year. A lot of people think that I would blow up, like you said, and like I think like if that were to happen, honestly, like more schools coming in, and just knowing that like there's going to be a lot of options for me, like just make me feel good and like I'd say like safe, having like a lot of options, because you don't always want to be in life. You don't really want to be restricted in what you have to do, and so I think having those options would be a really good really good opportunity for me. Just knowing that you have things that you might have like some options that you didn't really have from before.
And for you, I mean, for the schools that are out there, schools that are listening, schools that will watch this, schools that are watching your film, what should they know about you, Dudz? I know we've talked about things before, but now that we've, had a bunch of months go by and you can reflect, you've worked on some things, I'm sure. What would you say are your best attributes in your game, and what are the areas that you think you have to work at the most?
My best attributes would be, I'd say number one is that I'm a good teammate. Every place that I've played, I've always been able to like adapt to my teammates and everything, and have just like good relationships with people. Number two, I'd say my IQ is really high. I'm a good passer. I see the floor well, and like I'm able to just make the right play. And then another attribute I would say is probably my outside shooting. I'm a really good 3-point shooter, and I like to space the floor. And then some of my weaknesses I would say would be like my strength. Even though I'm getting stronger a lot basketball wise, but obviously the jump from high school to college is really large. So you're gonna have to get stronger, faster, and everything like that. And then something I'm really working on is the ability to put the ball on the floor, just make plays off the dribble. And I think I've been doing a lot better with that since the last time I played at West Genesee.
So a lot of stuff to be proud of, a lot of stuff to be excited about. Character-wise, what should they know about you? What can you tell me about you when it comes to your character and, who you are as an individual? What are they getting off the court and on the court? Besides the player that is Dudzinski, how would you describe Adam Dudzinski as a person, as a human being? What is a team getting in their community by getting you?
I'm going to be, like, some days I'll be, like, really outgoing. So, like, if you see me, like, out on campus, like, I'll always say hi to you. And just be, like, honestly, I just try to be, like, a nice person, say hi and things like that. But for me, I'd say, like, sometimes, like, I just like to stay to myself, really. Just, like, be quiet, sometimes. And just, like, just enjoy life and just enjoy, like, what I like to do. I just like to play basketball, really, and just be friends with people, just have, like, a good time with life. And just have, like, a positive outlook on the world and everything. So, like, nothing really too complicated, honestly. It's just, like, I just like to play basketball and just hang out with friends and just enjoy life, really.
And that's the thing. I mean, there's the people that are kind of out there, right? They like to do their thing and be heard and whatnot. And then there's those that are quiet. You seem to be balanced between the two. What do you like more, the quiet time or when you do open up?
when I'm to myself, just like by myself, really, I just like to be quiet. But like when I'm with my friends, like I tend to be like more outgoing when I'm with people. I just like when I get to interact with people, like that's when I really show like who I am. Really, like I could be like an outgoing person and things like that. But like when it's like when you have like those days to yourself, like I really enjoy those too. So like I feel like I get like the best of both worlds, honestly.
That coming from Adam Dudzinski this morning on Wake Up Call. We're going to go to rapid fire in just a moment where Dudz gets to put me on the hot seat. But besides that, Dudz, school and everything going on, getting ready for basketball, training yourself, doing what you got to do. All of those things are taking up your time. What else are you doing? Are you playing any board games, video games? What are you doing to keep your time? Are you watching Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu? What are you doing when it's your me time? What are you doing with that me time away from sports, away from school?
I just like to hang out with my friends, really. Just go to, now that restaurants are opened up, probably go out to eat some nights, and then go back to, like, someone's house and just relax and just have a good time. For video games, I've been playing, like, a lot of PS4, a lot of 2K, play that with my friends a lot. And then, I'm not really a big movie guy, but ever since, like, Corona hit, like, I've watched a couple of them, like, a lot more than I would have if it didn't happen. So I've been watching, like, a few movies here and there. So that's really it.
So you're getting some movies in, doing some stuff, hanging out, whatnot. Video game wise, what team are you playing when you're playing 2K?
They'd probably go the Nets, just because they had Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So they're both like really good players in the game. So I usually use those guys. I'm really good with them. So
who's the best to go up against for you? Which one of your teammates, friends, who challenges you the most?
I'd say not really. These are my teammates from like AAU. So the twins from Wildville, I know them. Ian and Gavin, we play them. I play them a lot. Okay. And usually I beat them because that's how it happens. So
that's just how it happens.
Those two.
What'd you say?
So those two is really who I play the most.
All right, fair enough. Now, have you been able to? Have you gotten in touch with Luke Sutherland, Will Amika, Christian Rossi, Cam Jones? Have you talked to any of the guys that you won that state championship with? Have you tried to interact with them at all during this time?
Yeah, 100%. Those are all. That's my family. Honestly, just having that bond with them. No matter what, we're always going to be really close. I talked to Cam yesterday, actually, so I talked to him. Luke's obviously, like, a role model for me. I'm always going to be in touch with him. And then Will's at Albany, so that's another role model, honestly, knowing that both of them did what I'm trying to do. So I try to just talk to them and just get advice from them. And then Rossi's my guy. I just talk to him a lot just about stuff. Like, we'll talk about anything, really. So that's just always, I always like to keep in touch with the group that we won a state championship with.
And there's also the Mr. John Benson. And, I mean, there's plenty of guys all throughout here. John going the football route to Maine. Have you kept in touch with him at all?
Yeah, I've obviously kept track on what he's doing. I know, like I don't really watch Maine football, but now that he's there, obviously I'm going to keep up on that. And, with social media and everything, you can just go tap on their profile and you know what's up with them. Like, so I know, like, he's like working hard at what he's doing right now. So I know that. And then I know Anthony Dallas. I know he's at Hobart for the cross, and I heard that it's been going really good for him. So I just like to keep track of what everyone's doing, just make sure that you always have a bond and, like, your connection with people.
Yeah, and it's important. It's important for you to keep that and to have that. And I'm sure that that's helped you through all of this. And, and again, I mean, I don't know it because I didn't go through it, but I would imagine that winning a state championship probably, has given you some peace through all this. Like, to say to the guys, hey, no matter what happens, we did this. No matter what happens, nobody could take this from us. No matter what goes forward in this season and whatnot, like, we got to do this and we got to be a part of it, knowing that, life has kind of shown itself that at any given time, anything can happen, during these Corona times and whatnot. I would imagine that it's taught you, maybe not that you didn't before, but to really appreciate what's going on and appreciate what you have and the opportunities that have, presented themselves and the things you've been able to do. I just feel like when you reflect on everything, it's got to feel good that you won a state championship and that you'll have that no matter what, when we know how quickly stuff like that now can be taken away.
Yeah, obviously, there's one thing that, you didn't really think about, you just, think, what if Corona happened, a year before? That would have been just knowing that, you got to take, life as it comes by, and just, appreciate everything and just take in, all the memories that you have just from life when everything was, everything just, you can't really take things for granted, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, and it's extremely important to appreciate everything that we have in our lives, including our relationships. I appreciate mine with you, Mr. Dudz, and with that being said, and in the spirit of our bonds, I am going to allow you to put me on the hot seat. I will not ask you any rapid-fire questions. You can ask me 4. It is up to you now. It's been a little bit since the last time we talked, not long, but a little while here, and I'm excited for the opportunity to have you back here and give you an opportunity to put me on the hot seat. So with that being said, Adam Dudzinski, West Genesee State champion, current player, and a college basketball recruit for 2022 currently, is here with us this morning on Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. It's time for Dudz to put me on the hot seat and ask me 4 questions. I have absolutely positively no idea what he's going to say. Dudz, I turn it over to you. Whatever you got.
All right. So my first question would be, did you have any nicknames, growing up, during your childhood?
I did. So, my friend James always called me D. I called him J. He called me D, just the letter D. And then also Dan the Man, DTM is. So I used to get Dan. I got Dan the Man a lot. I got D from he called me D more than anybody else. Used that nickname, and then DTM for Dan the Man for short. So those are the ones that I usually heard growing up. My mom had 1,000 nicknames for me, but my friends usually called me Dan the Man or D.
Gotcha. Number 2 would be, what's your dream car?
My dream car. That's a fantastic question, because I feel like growing up I'm like, oh, it's a Jaguar, but it's not. It's a Tesla, and I've chosen it. I feel I'm gonna look him up right now. But I was talking with Keon Lynn, who played cornerback for Syracuse, and him and I were talking about Teslas, and I love talking with him. I appreciate him so very much. And so we were talking about different Teslas, and there's actually somebody that doesn't live too far away from me that has one, but I believe, I'm looking at them right now, I think that I would get, what's the one with the doors that open? Let's see here. I think it's the Model X. Yeah, it's the Model X that has the doors that open like a DeLorean. So I'd probably go with that one, but when I tell you I will get a Tesla someday, I will get a Tesla someday. Right now it's the steel gray color, so that's what I'm doing. So I would say Tesla, and good for the environment, and really, really cool. So and my Tony Stark goatee should have a Tony Stark vehicle, Dud. So I think I'll get a Tesla. I will, unless I change my mind to another car, I will get a Tesla at some point.
I can't really go wrong with a Tesla, honestly.
No, you can't. What's your third one?
My third question would be, if you could play any celebrity, in any, if you could just, let me see. If you could have a day with any celebrity, who would you pick, and what would you want to do with them?
If I could have any day with any celebrity, who would I pick and what would I do? So, I'd spend a day with The Rock. I'm gonna pick a male and a female. So I'd spend a day with The Rock because I appreciate his get up and go. I appreciate him taking something that is another man's trash and turning it into another man's treasure. I think he's doing that with the XFL. You know, it was kind of just like, hey, we tried, Corona happened, whatever, and then he picked it up, which I think is awesome, and he's going to do an incredible job with it. And I think whatever he touches is successful, and I like his drive. I like his get up and go. I like his chasing greatness. Under Armour with the bull. I actually have a lot of his gear, so I support it. I'm drawn to it because I'm drawn to him and his drive. So I would say I definitely would want to spend a day with The Rock because I think we would laugh, we'd have a good time, and I don't know. I feel like he's a big kid, and I am too. So I think we would have a lot of fun together, and potentially, God willing, build a friendship. So I would say The Rock for one, and then I would say if I could choose any female celebrity, who would I choose and why? I would choose... Oh, this is tough. I felt like I had one, and now I'm really pondering. I would... Oh, man. Let me think. I would probably... Okay, so there's this group, and I don't know if a lot of people listening to the show know this because I don't think I've ever mentioned the group. But there's a group, a pop girl group called Little Mix, and they, I believe, are based in England. And so let me tell you. So the group's called Little Mix. They're based in England. Jade Thirlwall. Obviously I like when a woman can sing, and so I think that that's awesome because I sing and it's a big part of my life. So I would definitely spend a day with her because one, she's attractive, two, she can sing, she can dance, and yeah, I mean, I know I'm a go-getter, and I know that, I want somebody on that level. So I would consider spending a day with her, or I'd spend a day with Christmas Abbott, who is on the show Big Brother, but she is also big on like fitness and taking care of yourself. So I'd probably choose one of those two because Dudz, I'm single, so I gotta be smart about spending my day. So somebody that I think is attractive, that's a go-getter, probably either one of those ladies.
Yeah. So yeah, one more, right?
Yep, one more.
If you could be any fictional character for a day, who would you pick?
Oh, that's easy. I don't even have to think about it. I'd be Spider-Man. So, I mean, I look at God. I look up at God sometimes, and I'll just like flick my wrist because one day I'm just hoping that like a web comes out. Like I'm gonna do it for like the 3,782nd time, and it's like there's a web, and then God's like, all right, for the day, for 24 hours, you get to be Spider-Man. What are you gonna do? So I would love to be Spider-Man. I think that would be really cool. And without a doubt, I think that would be awesome. Great power comes great responsibility, family, sticking up for himself, growing as a human being, learning how to love. He can fight the baddest of the bads, otherworldly things, but he has to build up his self-confidence and his belief to like ask that girl out. So I think there's such a beautiful story in the human side of him and the superhuman side of him that I would be Spider-Man without question, hands down.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, so I would go with that. So that coming from Adam Dudzinski. Dudz, I appreciate you. Now that things are open, hopefully we can mask up and see each other sometime soon. But I'm happy we at least got to be on the phone. I appreciate you and respect you very, very much so, and I have nothing but good things to say about you. I will do whatever I need to do to get you recruited and get you to the right school. And, I definitely am thankful for you and your family and the family of West Genesee. So I hope, like I said, you and I get to hang out soon. But above everything, thank you for being the person that you are and working as hard as you do. And I know you're going to be extremely successful, and I'm really excited to watch your story as it unfolds.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that coming from Dudz. go get some sleep on and make sure you do your homework. I'm like Big Brother right now. Make sure you do your homework. But do what you got to do, and hopefully you and I will see each other soon.
Yes, sir. I will.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
See you later. That coming from Adam Dudzinski this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I got to be big bro. You know, I got to be big bro to the kids here in the community. I love them all. So Kimbra said, thank you, Dan. Appreciate everything. Absolutely, Kimbra. It is my pleasure. Ann said, great interview. Thank you, Ann. And again, means the world to me. She said, we have to keep our support for these senior athletes who have worked so hard. Amen. I would say we got to keep our support for every athlete, every kid, every grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. Everybody on this world has a place and a purpose. If God woke you up this morning, it wasn't by mistake, and it wasn't to just be a wallflower. So for everybody that woke up today, shout out to you. For everybody that's up in heaven right now, shout out to hopefully a fantastic life they lived, and may they always be with us in spirit and be with us completely someday. So, you know, everybody matters, every life matters, every human being matters, and it now more than ever, we should know that, and we should really, really be good to each other, love each other, and not waste our time or anybody else's. Ann said, you and Kim, I know, are proud parents. Absolutely, talking to the Dudz. Jason said, thank you, Dan, for having Adam on, bringing some normalcy to his life. Hey, whatever I can do. They bring normalcy to mine. And Ann said, amen, Dan. So thank you to everybody, to your support and to your love. I cannot thank you enough. You know, the parents of these kids, from the kids to the parents to the guardians to the brothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends and you know, cousins, nieces, nephews, aunts and uncles. I think I said grandma and grandpa, but if I didn't, I put that in there too. To the teachers, to the coaches, the staff, the administration, the school boards, and everybody in the community alike. I want to thank you so much. You have been tremendously supportive of my show. You have helped me to grow and blossom and really, really dig my roots deep into my hometown of Central and Upstate New York. I love you all. I respect and appreciate every good person out there that's just trying to do good stuff. So with that being said, it is my entire gratitude, my appreciation, my thanks to each and every single one of you for being so amazing and taking a little kid like me and just building me up and pushing me up and wanting these dreams to come true for me. So I really do appreciate that. As much as you thank me for doing what I do, I thank you all for supporting me. So it means the world, and I really don't have enough words to say thank you. God is undeniably great. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, I will do the perfect segue with all these thanks and positivity. I get to do the ingredients to success. That comes up right after this. Brought to you by Avicoli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. And you can also get them at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Make sure you use the promo code AVS10. That's AVS10 to get 10% off of all of your online orders. We'll be back right after this fast break from our great partners in the community. You'll hear from them, and then you will hear the ingredients to success right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life.
The city with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. You know, we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.